Guilty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I am Jay with Guilty of Crime, and it's Thursday. Happy almost Friday, y'all. I made it. I hope you guys can hear me. One of my favorite people on this planet is Gumby, aka LJ. What's up, my person? And Kylie, how you doing? I get to hear your voice because I hear you on the What's the Obsession show. Good evening. What's up, guys? I changed my episode so many times today. All week I've been doing that. Yes, I am in the house, all tatted up. You can see all my tats today. I kind of like that. I wish you guys could see my tats all the time. I'm very proud of them. Yeah, that's right, Mara. Jay's in the house. So let me tell you a couple things before we get into the show. Everything's going to go together, I promise. Every topic that I have is going to go together. Now, Michelle Ramos are you a new member? Welcome, Michelle Ramos. I promise you won't be disappointed for subscribing to Guilty of Crime. Make sure you hit all the notifications and the like button. Edith, I hope you're feeling better soon. I was sick the whole last week. Now, everything's going together, folks, because Jennifer Soto is coming to a head very soon with the trial of the murder of Madeline Soto and Stephan Sterns. And I ask you, will she be blamed by Stephan Sterns for that? All right. So we're going to say betrayal between Stephan and Jenn. I think so. Now, we'll every episode that I have put together for you is in the next week or so is going to go together. Trial date is set. So get excited, guys. Get excited because it might happen. I know there's going to be big things happening. Now, don't say Jason trial's happening that day, but trial date is in fact set for the killing of Madeline Soto. Okay, and that's September 22nd, 2025. A jury trial is set for Stephan Sterns, who is accused of, right now, he's just accused of taking Madeline Soto's life. Okay. So Mara said the potato is about to be diced. I want to say thank you, by the way, to Diane Pickering for gifting one Guilty of Crime membership. Love you. And Leah Reeves for becoming a new member, as well as Barbara Lyle. I promise you won't be disappointed. I don't disappoint when I tell you guys. All right. And whatever you guys say, I listen to the audience. You ask, I do. Okay. So the reason we're talking about is Jenn Soto going to be blamed by Stephan Sterns is because, in my opinion, she's gonna be a huge character in the trial because Stephan has pointed to her at least 5 times, including his parents pointing at Jenn, saying that they know that she was there, they know she was involved. You remember, the dad is going to be a witness. He came down the night that the night that they were searching the crime scene to pay for the condo, and he was with Jenn and Stephan when Stephan went and meandered his way down to their house. So the parents know more. and Stephan definitely, not only are they going to turn on each other, but Stephan is going to be a different person altogether than we think we see now. That little meek, meandering little guy that he's got going on, it's going to change because the death penalty is on the table and he understands what happens. But he's had lots of statements that we will talk about. I also still have the 12 depositions that will knock your socks off that are going to be witnesses called by the defense. Why are these 12 people, you guys? And we're not doing that today because I'm down mods. I have sick mods, I have mods that are busy, etc. So the reason I'm not, Bree's on another channel. I'm not even going to tell you right now. We're going to do the other channel. We're going to react to the other channel when she's back. She's not here today because she knows so much information about the cases we do here. Another channel asked her to go on and help explain about a case. And so I was going to run the case simultaneously while she was explaining, but then we wouldn't be able to give you guys the attention. So I'm going to react to it afterwards. So Bree's not here, and I have other mods that are sick, and I have mods that are busy, but I do have, I think Carly's here and JoJo's here. So Sweetie Brookahire, you can help me be a mod because I'm down mods today. That'd be great. Just if we have any people that are being crazy, let them know. And Edith, thank you, girlfriend, for the Guilty of Crime membership. Email me. I'd like to talk to you, Edith, at some point. guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so let's start off with the trial date being set so I can tie you into this and for you to understand why all of this stuff is starting to come out. And thank you again for another Guilty of Crime membership. If you guys have the means, or only if you have the means, donate super cat, super stickers, super whatever, cash app, all that fun stuff, right? But it's free to hit the like button. Welcome. What's up, Jules and Ariel? Hey, how you doing? Okay, so that's what we're leading up to, trial. Let's talk about that. And that's why we have depositions that we have along with the voice. We have the audio of the depositions of the people. I think the next 3 or 4 episodes have to do with that. But you guys, you know what? I cannot forget about Naziah Harris. And Naziah Harris was one that I was going to do today. I've got new information on the case. There's lots of stuff constantly coming out, and I want to translate that for you. But this trial is coming fast, and I need you guys to know all the information you can. Kylie says, fun fact, I was actually served a subpoena today to be a witness for an upcoming trial. I'll share the whole process with everybody as I go through it, but us true crime nerds are into that. Yeah, that is a very fun fact, and I hope that it's a good one. I hope it's a good one. All right, you guys. I'm glad you guys are so sweet, sharing all the love with each other. Patty Ward says $2 best channel. All love to you, Patty. Thank you so much, you guys. We really need to get those sticker. We really need to get the locks out there. So if you guys can please share on your community page that Madeline Soto needs. All they are locks. It could just be, bicycle lock, the cheapest pack of locks, and then write your name or write something for Maddie on it and send it off to the P.O. box. But did he throw Jenn under the bus during his interrogation? He didn't actually. Falling Star, you know why he didn't throw her during the bus under his interrogation? Because he never admitted to anything in his interrogation. In fact, he tried to play it off about the pictures. You remember the pictures where he said, oh yeah, the pictures of us being at Disney and oh yeah, her backpack. I remember her backpack that morning. We were going to McDonald's. He didn't talk. That's why he didn't throw her under the bus. Stephan Sterns didn't say anything. That's why he didn't say anything. And it's on my community page. There's a P.O. box. And I'll let you know at the end. Carrie, what's up, girlfriend? Bingo. Yeah, he didn't talk. That's the only reason. The moment they said to him, what kind of pictures do you have? And he was telling lies. They said, well, what other pictures do you have, sir? And he said, I think I need a lawyer. Well, we can't tell you. We're going to ask you what pictures. And that was it. End of story. He clammed up. He was done. That guy wasn't talking. But every chance he's had on every phone call and every text message that he's had, he's put the blame on somebody else. He just hasn't named a name. He said it wasn't him that started it. He said he never would have wanted Maddie dead. He had no motive for it. He literally every single chance he's got, I can quote 5 or 6 different times that he's blamed someone else. He talked about walking outside, had to go blow off steam, and when he came back, Maddie was dead. He's just never used Jennifer Soto's name. And you know why? It's because if he does, then that means he's confessing to being involved and he's already pled not guilty. So Marissa says Jenn might have killed Maddie out of jealousy. Absolutely. And we're going to hear it. It's going to come out. We've got these people deposing at least 12 different witnesses, which we're going to do the depositions tomorrow. I had to push it off for tomorrow because I'm down a ton of mods. Shared on next. Buck Cherry lover. I love Buck Cherry too. I love Buck Cherry. If that's who you're talking about, that musician, I love it. All right. Let's get into this because I know you guys are excited and I know people are also confused a little bit about it. So let's listen to this real quick. It's talking about the trial, and then I'll read you the article if they don't tell you what I want them to. It's talking about trial being set, ready, set, go.
And telling you that no charges will be filed against the mother of 13-year-old Madeline Soto. We've listened to the interviews between detectives and Jennifer Soto just a day after her daughter, 13-year-old Madeline, disappeared. We've been following this case since it all started back in February, and then Maddie's body was found in a rural part of St. Cloud. Her mother's boyfriend is charged in her murder. Channel 9's Sam Martello's live for us in studio this morning. And Sam, we've learned from investigators that as of right now, only Stephan Sterns is being charged in this case.
Right, Kirsten. The interview with Jennifer Soto takes place on February 27th at 11:30 p.m. That is just after Madeline Soto was reported missing. She has a hard time answering some questions, but we're told so far she's done nothing criminal, so no charges will be filed at this time.
In recently released interview tapes, Jennifer Soto tells Orange County detectives the events surrounding her daughter's disappearance. She said at 11 p.m. she sent her daughter and Stephan Sterns to bed together.
Is it normal for both of them to sleep in the same room? Sometimes. When I really need a good night's sleep, I will send them upstairs. But when also a lot of times we will sleep together in the king-size bed, all three of us.
She told investigators she thought that Madeline Soto was getting ready for school the next.
All right, now 2 lies right in the middle of this, and this is the news clip that's getting ready for trial to be set and juries to be set for a death penalty case. Now we're talking about the capital Murd3r case, guys, because we try not to say the M word too much. I say Murd3r. That's what we're talking about right now. We're not talking about the 60 crimes, the 60 SA crimes right now, because that's a whole other case. That's not the case we're talking about. We're talking about September 22nd, trial date set for the M, capital M word, okay? So that one was charged a month later. So that one was pushed out a bit later. The first date that's set, and it's probably going to be like a preliminary hearing or a pre-trial, which will probably get pushed out even more. That's the 60 counts, and that's not what we're talking about today, and that's not what we're talking about with the depositions either. The 12 depositions that are going to blow you away, why the defense wants those particular people, it makes no sense. The only way it makes sense to me is by what we're talking about today, that Stephan Sterns is going to blame Jennifer Soto for the Murd3r of Madeline Soto. That's the only way I could make sense of that, because there's no other way. It means nothing. The red rum, right. Kimber smiles. Good. Look at how cute you look, smiling. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Sound stronger. Well, thank you. I was sick for like a whole week and now I'm better. Jamie Murphy, thank you for becoming a new member. And we want full justice for Maddie, but as you can see right now, that's not happening just yet until the trial comes. Now, somebody just asked me real quick, and I'm going to answer, how could he plead not guilty to the CSA, to the CSAM, right? It's a tactic. It's a defense tactic. It doesn't matter if you have a picture of me pew-pewing you. If you have a picture of me stabbing you and you go take it and you arrest me, I'm still going to say not guilty, and then I'm going to go fight you at trial. The moment that I say that I'm guilty, that means that I have no defense anymore, and it leaves the prosecution open to do whatever they want to you. Once you say you're guilty and you don't fight against them, they can literally say, thank you for telling me that thank you for saying you're guilty. Now you're going to the death penalty and we're done. You have nothing to say. So that's always a tactic. If you guys are confused, that's always going to happen, except for in the Chris Watts case. Now, the Chris Watts case, that didn't happen because he didn't care what happened to him. He knew he was done. He knew he was through. He knew he annihilated his family. So instead of having to he was a coward already. Instead of having to go into court and see those little girls' bodies that were dead coming out of the oil tanks, their skin sloughing off, the way he pushed them through there, and Shanann pregnant with a baby giving birth, he just said, I'm guilty. Do whatever you want with me. That's a rarity that's ever going to happen. Now, this XO girl, Tiff, $4.99. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. So, yeah, what you missed is people are always going to say not guilty if they want to have a fair trial. Otherwise, you're saying, take my hands, arrest me. I did it, and do whatever you want with me. You can bend me over with no lube if I say guilty. Okay, so it's literally just a tactic that people use. Okay, and there's other times where people plead not guilty, or they plead guilty, but it's like they're not they plead no contest, or there's another one that's saying you're guilty without saying you're guilty. Okay, all right, so let's talk about this particular trial that's coming up and what's going to happen with mother Jennifer Soto, and what we think, how Stephan's going to absolutely turn the table on her.
Morning, but didn't actually see her. She said she got up, went to a doctor's appointment, and then got back after 11 a.m. When she got home, she says Sterns was there and they chatted for a bit. But according to investigators, that was not true. Sterns had already been seen driving out of the complex, the little girl slumped over in the front seat. She said it wasn't until after Maddie did not come out of the school and wasn't there all day that she started to worry.
Jenn told investigators Sterns was not at the school with her to pick up Maddie. Sterns told her he couldn't make it because he had a flat tire. We know that's true because reports show he changed that tire near the same location where Maddie's body was found. Live in studio, Sam Martello, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
We do know that he had a flat tire, but that's not why he was not with her. Now, in my opinion, he was getting ready he was doing his thing and dumping evidence, and Jenn was in fact playing out the other side of the mom that's just picking up her daughter, had her blood appointment, couldn't go to her Botox. She was creating herself an alibi, and in my opinion, when they were chatting, she was deleting stuff from her phone. He was resetting his phone, and they were scripting their story. Yes, I said that, and that's what I'm going to stick to, what happened that day. Now, like I said, jury trial is set September 22nd, 2025. We just saw that, and documents show that Sterns appeared in court on Monday for the hearing. That was that last hearing, the only one that he's ever showed up for. And you can see the timeline of her disappearance here. We're not going to go over the timeline today. I don't think that we really need to. We know that it's posted on my page on Patreon. Now, the assistant state attorney is instructed to provide body-worn camera footage to defense attorney. Soto's body was found February 2024 after being reported missing. Sterns was then charged in Soto's disappearance and the death in April, which is why there were no charges for the red rum before that. We all knew he got charged for CSAM, but then it turned into first degree in her death. All right. So then now we're gonna get into the whole point today of what we're talking about. Hold on real quick. Let me pause this. I'm going to show you one more thing just because I love to show you how I love documenting the process. So when we go back on it, I can show you exactly what happened. So here's what happened with that case as it unfolded. Get this. Hold on. And then we'll talk about what Stephan's going to do.
The death of this teenage girl has now been indicted for first-degree murder.
The indictment signifies a crucial step forward in our quest for justice.
But investigators say the case is far from closed.
Mm-mm.
A grand jury indicted Stephan Sterns for first-degree murder today. Good evening, I'm Greg Warman.
And good evening, I'm Martha Segal.
All right. And at that time, it was breaking news because even though we knew that she was missing and they found her body, they didn't have it all wrapped up in a bow just yet. Now, Star Z, as much as I love you, I thought it was a ruse at first too. But now I realize there's no way that flat tire was a ruse. He actually did have a flat tire that was torn out, and that's not where he was going to dump Maddie's body. But instead, he had to pull over in that area because if somebody saw her body or pulled over to help him out, he would have been in deep SHIT. So, in fact, the way that I don't know if you saw the picture, but there was a picture that one of the officers or the sheriff, they took a picture of Maddie's body. It was in the wide open. It was 3 bushes in right off the property. That was a big accident. There's no way he would have made it to, he would have went to what we talked about yesterday, to Lizzie Park, where there was a lake and gators. So, yeah, there's no possible way that you could be. He's dumb, but he's not that dumb. So I think that flat tire was, our angel. And otherwise, we would have not found her body so soon, or maybe never. And a lot of people think that too. A lot of people think that. I still think that she had a big part in it. But what part? That's what we're talking about today.
The state attorney and Kissimmee police chief making that announcement just after.
Sorry. You hit it.
For this afternoon. Stearns was first arrested in February on sexual battery and possession of child pornography charges. He has been behind bars ever since. Daryl Matthews joining us live outside the Osceola County Courthouse. And Daryl, what could
for CSAM, guys? There's no child PORN. It's CSAM. You can only have PORN if it's consensual. Remember that.
What detectives reveal about the investigation today?
Martha, very little besides his new murder charge.
We'll find out.
They do say there's still a lot to get through in this investigation, and they decided to tell us about this charge just to bring some closure to the family and the rest of the community.
Today, the Kissimmee Police Chief and myself are here to provide an update on the death investigation on 13-year-old Madeline Soto.
A new charge in the murder case of 13-year-old Madeline Soto.
The Kissimmee Police Department and my office have been working closely to go over every piece of evidence that we could gather in this case.
Wednesday, the grand jury came down with an indictment of first-degree capital murder for Stephan Sterns for the killing of Madeline Soto back in February. Madeline was reported missing by her mother after she never made it to school. Sterns spoke exclusively to Eyewitness News and law enforcement that
now, if you even look at that, you guys, look at that. They were playing it up. They had it so scripted out that day when they stopped and erased his phone and deleted her text messages. They had it so scripted down to the point where she was petting Stephan Sterns. She was petting him and comforting him. And that was not their relationship, you guys. You guys know that they were broken up. You know that, right? Stephan was trying to date other women in between this. They were never affectionate. And we're going to have witnesses that come and say, these two were never affectionate like that. They were broken up at the time. I mean, that's a ruse right there. They put that ruse on. They didn't realize that Maddie's body was going to be found so quickly. and they used that script that Stephan Sterns was the caring stepdad that was so broken up about his stepdaughter that was missing and what could have happened, and Jenn was the grieving mom that was, loving on her boyfriend and making sure he was okay. That's how scripted they had it, and that's how much they were trying to fool us all. I'm gonna rewind it just for a second. They did not have that type of relationship. They were not affectionate.
Madeline was reported missing
Look
by
at
her
that.
mother after she never made it to school. Stearns spoke exclusively to Eyewitness News and law enforcement that he dropped her off for school the day after she celebrated her 13th birthday.
The evidence shows an individual that was entrusted to keep Madeline safe made calculated moves to dispose Madeline's belongings and place her body in a wooded area before she was ever reported missing.
The state attorney's office says the indictment was based on Stearns' calculated moves to hide her body in St. Cloud. Court records released state Madeline was murdered on or between February 25th and the 27th. Her body.
That was her last known video footage at grandma's house. And when I am going to show you her hideout, Jenn's hideout, and grandma's house, so you don't feel so bad at some point. I don't have it right here because Bree gave it to me. We have pictures of where she's hiding out. We've showed you that, but we didn't show you the complete outside. Now, Grandma Stacy, the videos from hours ago were videos that people in chat asked me for. They wanted the videos that I had of Jenn Soto and Stephan Sterns and the kinks. Do you remember in the case a long time ago, the pieces started coming out and they were talking about the kinks that they were into? That's what those were about. They asked me to release them for them so that they didn't have to look through 700 of my videos. So I did that for them. That's what the two videos were. It has nothing to do with this whatsoever. I was just being nice to some people. That's all. And I know I'm nice to some people, and then other people are confused. I apologize for that. Yes, Jenn's hideout is at her sister's house. All right. And Carly, we need to get on that merch. A lot of people want merch. I don't know if the people that won are on here today. I apologize for the people that didn't get it. But Grizzly True Crime stopped making merchandise because she couldn't find a person to make merchandise that would get there in a timely manner. And I'm starting to have that trouble, you guys. I'm starting to have trouble where people are messaging me and saying, Jay, where's my stuff? I can't keep up with that, you guys. I don't handle the merch. Carly does. And I don't have anything to do with it. The prices are all the way marked down. I'm making nothing. I'm just doing it so we can all have unity. So if we can't get it together, then we won't be able to do merchandise. So I want to let you know, I do apologize for people that have late merchandise, but I don't even have time to do anything about it. But Carly says she'll look into that. Synth 333. Thank you so much. Prayer for Maddie, for that beautiful young lady. She does not look pregnant there, you guys. I don't know what people are saying, but I do not see pregnancy in that picture. Thank you, Diane, for the super sticker. We're gonna call that the lovely avocado. Look at her. I don't see that she looks pregnant there. They could have had a pregnancy scare, but I don't see that she was pregnant, guys, ladies, whatever. Let me roll back a little. She just doesn't look pregnant to me. I don't see it.
Murdered on or between February 25th and the 27th. Her body was discovered March 1st in a wooded area in St. Cloud. Now, when asked about the death penalty, the state attorney Andrew Baines says that decision will come at a later date. As far as the charges for murder, Sterns' arraignment is set for April 29th at 1:30, and the charges for those child sex crimes are still July 10th. We're live in Osceola County.
Nope, never happened.
Matthew, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
And only Channel 9 sat down with Stephan Sterns and Madeline's mother, Jennifer Soto, just a day after that teen was reported missing. In that interview, Sterns pleaded for help to find Madeline.
Yep.
We don't know where she can be.
And we'll just wait. So this is only like 2 minutes, so you guys could remember and know how fake Jenn Soto is being. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think Stephan Sterns was being fake, you guys. I think after seeing that letter that was, "I love you, Maddie. I'll always love you," that nasty poem that he made. I really do think in his sick mind, and yes, there would already be charges, Shannon Cliff, and the family would know already if she was pregnant, and the family told me that she was not pregnant. So unless they were just telling me untruths and just to shut me up, they said she's not pregnant, and it would have been in the autopsy report. They would have known. We wouldn't have, but they would have. So thank you for saying that. Okay, need special model grudge. I'm sorry, it's your channel. You need to worry about the merch not getting to. I do worry about the merch not getting to my viewers, and that's why I won't be able to do merchandise, sir, if I can't get it to my viewers. I've been worried about it to my viewers for the whole time. I messaged them as many times as they messaged me back. I'm very concerned. So if I can't get merch to my viewers, then I can't have merch. So thank you very much for letting me know how to run my channel. I do appreciate that. And that's what I just said. Not sure what different I could have said that. All right. So Stephan Sterns does look like he does look like he really, not only was he high, guys, but he Jay knows, and F is I don't think he was fake crying. He's gonna blame Jenn Soto. He had no reason to take Maddie's life unless it was accidental. That's funny. You guys, I'm not gonna sit there and chat with people that are telling me things. I love my viewers and you guys that have emailed me. Thank you for emailing me. Carly's taking care of it. And if we can't, then we'll do something else special for you guys. I gave out gifts for the holidays and the gifts haven't arrived. So nobody's money was lost. Thank you for telling me how to do things. I appreciate it.
We're scared. We just want her home.
Sterns was arrested just a short time later for sexual battery charges and named the prime suspect in that little girl's disappearance.
And then earlier this month, only Channel 9 sat down with Madeline Soto's biological father.
Oh my God, maybe they gave us more. Now, since server, nobody paid for anything, my girl. Those were all gifts, and I feel bad because I gave gifts out for the holiday, and I paid for them. I spent over $200 on gifts, and the gifts never got there. Now, I sent the tracking numbers to the people that won the gifts, so it's my money that's at a loss, but I told them if they don't get them soon, I will buy them something else. So yeah, thank you for doing that with your stuff. I know we talked about you actually got your merchandise. You're the one that gets your merchandise, and I'm so happy for the people that do. But of course, the ones that I gave gifts to hasn't got them, and the tracking numbers said they'd be there on the 17th and they just haven't come. So it kind of sucks because I gave gifts and they haven't got to them, and I feel bad. But everybody that has bought their own stuff is not complaining or anything like that. I just don't want that to happen on my channel. So we'll have to think of an alternative way if we can't work it out. But thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Let's listen. I think this might be the full interview of Tyler. I have not seen the full interview of Tyler ever. I've only seen like 30 seconds.
It was his first interview since his daughter's murder. Channel 9 Shannon Butler joins us live in studio tonight. And Shannon, you spoke with Maddie's dad again today. And what did he have to say about
Tyler
the grand
Wallace
jury?
has been informed by his attorney that those murder charges have been filed. He has not yet decided if he will make a statement. We are told he is still trying to process all of this new news. Tyler Wallace told me when we sat down earlier this month that he was trying to be patient as he waited for more.
Okay, so if you guys don't know who Tyler Wallace is, a lot of you started following me months and months into this case. Tyler Wallace is, in fact, the biological father of Madeline Soto, and it was an accidental pregnancy between Tyler Wallace and Madeline Soto's mom, Jenn Soto. He was already getting engaged to his now current Tatiana wife, which was the stepmother of Madeline Soto, and he got Jenn pregnant. And so that's the deal. Edith, Amazon works beautifully. You'll get that in an instant. So that's why we might do something with Amazon instead of those Teespring people that aren't getting back to me. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much, Rosie, for the $1.99. Now, Tyler got half of her ashes as well, you guys. And it does look just like her dad, doesn't it? Some of you guys don't even know who Tyler Wallace is because you started late in the case. And many people do feel that way. When you start to fill in the backstory, you might change a little bit different, but we'll see. It's okay. Everybody's opinion is, it's okay to have an opinion, and we can all agree to disagree. You're very welcome. We'll thank everybody for gifting those memberships today.
Answers. What is the number one question you still want answered?
I'm just waiting for more information to come out. I'm not really comfortable posing where my questions are right now. I have a list a mile long of questions, but I'm satisfied with the answers I've been given from official sources, and I'm just trying to give this investigation time to do this the right way. I don't want to rush anybody. I want evidence to be analyzed. I want to know the truth.
But today, a big piece of the puzzle has been solved. Wallace found out late this afternoon that the man also charged with sexual battery and dozens of explicit videos of his daughter is also now accused of her murder. In an interview with WFTV, both Stephan Sterns and Jennifer Soto told us that Maddie was dropped off at school but never made it. Wallace said he got the same information.
Again, their super scripted story, you guys. And Bogart, I hope I can tell the story one day of parental alienation and dig up the paperwork on Tyler Wallace with Jenn Soto and the battle that they went through with custody. Jen's mom really paid to make sure that Tyler Wallace did not have Madeline Soto in her custody. So just so you know, and she made it hard to see. She made Tyler, you say Tyler's really dramatic for a man. I know that was hardly around. What's interesting and it makes me mad is that he's not more mad. It bothers me that he's not more mad, but he did try to see her, and Jenn Soto made it impossible. Yeah, now he was in fact in prison from the military, and Jenn Soto and him had a working out like a plan, and she didn't want her to go there because I think she didn't want it to be exposed. Jenn made every single excuse to keep Maddie away from her father. Yeah, there was a huge legal battle in the beginning. Tyler lived in Florida for a little while, and then he moved to Texas for whatever reason. I was told that he got ran out of Florida, but whatever that may be, that's his conscience that has to do that. Okay. All right, let's go. I'm glad you made it to the live. That's such a scripted story right here.
From Maddie's mother that day. What did she say to you? Maddie's missing?
Yes, she said that Maddie had been missing since the morning of, and that the school had just contacted them, and that she was hoping that it wasn't serious. But
I wish she was. I wish she was more mad.
Did she say that someone had dropped her off at school?
She said that Stephan had taken her to school in the morning and dropped her off. Yeah, and that she had never made it to the school.
So what about Jenn Soto here? What, if anything, did she know? We asked the state attorney that question today, but they would not answer. Most of the answers to our questions were it is still under investigation, Greg.
All right, Shannon, great work with those interviews. And we'll continue to follow the story as the cases against Stephan Sterns move forward. Again, there's a couple.
All right, so the next thing that's coming out is the trial. There will be more before that because the SA is happening first. Let me see if he says that date.
Of cases here, both could lead to the death penalty. You can read all of our.
All right, so we're gonna stop on that. That was not even planned. Today we are doing the next move, and this one's called Next Move, Jennifer Soto and the Crosshairs. But let me tell you right now that we share a lot of information. And the reason Gavin and I share information is because we share a mod. So our mods, one of my mods for him. And so when I'm doing a case, I'll hand him something that he can't get over. And when he's doing the case, he'll hand something, and we keep it all in the fam. So Michelle Ramos, thank you so very much for becoming a member. And I appreciate all of you. Linda says, I'm a little behind the live just got here. That's okay, because we're just getting started on this. This is documentation and information that we've both been sharing. Now, this is Jennifer Soto, and we're talking about, is she going to be blamed when it comes up? Now, he's talking to Sterns. What's his next move? It's all the same thing. So thank you. And thank you, Goldilocks. I appreciate that. Normally I have 5 mods. Right now I'm 3 mods down today. I only have JoJo and Carly. So I figured that was gonna happen. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Let's get through this. Like I said, we share a mod in common, so we end up sharing case information with each other, which is really awesome because when you show love to other creators and you guys can work well together, you can get more information out faster and better and more accurate. So God bless Gavin and my mods. What the malignant hierarchy of the relationship is clear when you see Jenn comforting Stephan, who is pathetically carrying on. Insert project. Yes, that narrative, Blue Sapphire, is so clear when you see that. Oh my God. No, Synth is not a mod any longer. Synth is going, she just passed her test and she's growing up and moving on. She's still our guilty of crime crew, but she's no longer a mod. So I'm down 3 mods today. All right, let's listen here and take a look at the documentation.
This little girl lived a life that was unthinkable for most of us. She had been abused terribly for 5 years, and it had been documented apparently photographically, videographically, and it appears the police say, and I believe them, that it was all done at the hands of her mom's on-again, off-again boyfriend, a man named Stephan Sterns.
At least
now,
he said that right.
Mr. Sterns was arrested for 60 counts of SA against Maddie, and then later was charged with her murder.
Which we
and so about. He sits in a county jail there in Florida awaiting trial. Now, and
that's what we're talking about today. Now, Jonna, interestingly enough, Ninchi True Crime just reached out to me today. That's the first time I've ever talked to Ninchi. So I've had many people tell me about, I think it's a her, I guess Ninchi. Yeah, her voice is a female. So yeah, we've been emailing back and forth. I pretty much talk to most content creators that cover the Madeline Soto case. So it's interesting that you say that. And yeah, 60 counts is not what we're talking about today, but 60 counts because of all of the images. And you're done with the class. Oh, that's awesome. Yay, Synth. We'll talk behind the scenes, my girl. All right, let's keep going.
That's kind of where we get to today. You know how when I start my videos, I usually say, hey, if you're into true crime, but you want to skip past the fluff, the sensationalism, you found the right place. Okay. Today.
Yeah, stop talking. Just kidding.
We're just kind of in Speculationville.
Of course.
What I wanted to talk about today was
I'm gonna go
use
forward.
of Madeline Soto.
Yes.
And maybe even in the murder or cover-up of the murder of her daughter, Madeline Soto. So I've wondered.
Now, we all think that. I love when, not all of us, not all the true crime creators that do this case believe the same thing. But I want to tell you right now that Gavin and I are so aligned with each other that we both believe that Jenn Soto holds the, she was the one with the puppet strings in this case. Now, Peg, I'm going to answer a couple questions. Peg, what did Jenn organize in the morning? Didn't she notice clothes or blankets being washed and the puke? And that's the thing. She never talked about any of that. She acted like she slept all the way through until her blood appointment. And then when she came back, she never talked about any other real details except chit-chatting with Stephan Sterns. So no details happened according to Jenn Soto that morning, which is another telltale of what she did do and what she didn't do. So no, she didn't even tell about Stephan doing laundry. Why would she when she was there helping clean up the crime scene, in my opinion? Why would you tell on yourself? And she's not going to.
Will Stephan Sterns flip on her? will he throw her under the proverbial bus? So what we're going to do today is we are not going to cut past the fluff and sensationalism. We are going to dive into it. We're going to bathe in its warm waters, the warm waters of fluff and sensationalism. And we're going to talk about this whole idea. Okay. Now, because this is going to be a conversation, it is going to be really important to me that you guys be active in the live stream. Put GF anytime you have a comment that you want me to.
And obviously, you're not going to do that here, and we're not going to listen to all his comments, but we're going to pull out the case files now. So if you guys have questions, I can see them right here. I can see you guys. If you want to, you can put JAI, and I'll see you, and then ask me. But really, I answer most of your questions by what I talk about. And they did make a big deal about the leash, and that's why I've said so many times, I believe he used that leash to hold Madeline Soto up in the seat. Now, he used so much. Good to see you, RL. He used so much. He talked about that dog leash and taking the dog to go for a potty walk more times than I can count. But Jenn only talked about it one time. So it leads me to believe that he did go back in there for that to use it, because we saw it on the seat, in the front seat where Maddie's body was ultimately where they saw it. Okay, so yeah, that being said, and Jenn Soto is at Stephanie Soto's house. We know where her hideout is, and I have pictures of it, and it's a beautiful house, by the way. I wish I got to hide out there while I was getting work done here. All right. Now, the shoe in the room, how did she miss that? Well, because she's involved in it, in my opinion.
See,
she did.
I have got several talking points and an outline of how I want to take this conversation. I've got a couple of documents that we're going to look at.
All right, well,
and
let's look at them.
And then, well, I keep thinking about how you would never rat out a friend.
There it is. Okay, perfect.
It really made me mad, and I felt like you valued them over us when you let them get away with stuff. Seems like what she's saying is you are valuing Jennifer over us.
Okay, do you remember earlier when I told you there's at least 5 different times that were documented where Stephan Sterns and Stephan Sterns' parents called out Jennifer Soto? Do you remember that very first time that we heard that? It was like 9 o'clock at night, and we did a breaking news because we saw this, and they're saying, why aren't you telling on her? We all flipped the freak out. That was this right here is the very first time that we've ever heard, hey, Rebecca's in the house. Rebecca Michello, Corey Michello's grandma. Say a prayer for little Corey, for Rebecca and Bree Michello. Now, Law Nerds is not uncommon. People line up extra early to be in the front of the line. I have done this also. However, I've only done it if I have to get to an appointment quickly. Yeah, I don't think that was the unusual part for me. That was never the unusual part, was her being in line early. That was the least of my worries. My thing was that she said she got there early, but then she didn't wait around or go in. She emailed the teacher. When you're freaking out, you don't email a teacher. So I didn't find it weird that she went there at all. You say Stephan not admitting to doing anything. He's said at least 5 different times between him and his parents that point to someone other than him. And thank you, Melissa, for saying Corey's grandma, Rebecca Michello, sorry for your loss. Yes, much love to you. Okay, let's arrest Jenn. So this was the first time we ever heard about Jenn Soto being implicated. And this is Chris Sterns telling Stephan Sterns, you don't see the commissary and you can't order anything. Remember, he just wants stuff. Stephan Sterns just wants those root beer barrel things. Do you remember your balance? Jail and prison, stay positive, talk with your attorneys. We freaked out when we heard this, you guys. This was the big one. I keep thinking about how you would never rat out a friend. It really made me mad. And I feel like you valued them over us when you let them get away with stuff. Don't be doing that again. In other words, let them know about Jenn. We all know that Jenn was heavily involved in this, and I'm disgusted that she is free and you are not, when this is not all your fault. Now, they're not saying it's not his fault. They're saying it's not all your fault. All right. You need to think about yourself more and her less. Sure, she isn't thinking of you and how she can help you right now. that whole family, meaning the Soto family, is willing to stay quiet, and you guys all know they are, and let you take the fall for everything. In my opinion, that's exactly what's happening right now. When you do that, you're hurting us too. Please get out of your head and over this and start talking with your attorneys. This is serious stuff, and you need to approach it as life and death, because it is, which it is. He's going to get the death penalty if he's the only person involved and there's nothing he can prove other than that. He will get the death penalty for this, and I have no problem believing that 12 jurors will do that. I think this is craziness. Madeline lived with Jenn through various partners. Not a stable life for a child. I do pray for, I don't know if she's saying Madeline and for you daily. I am thrilled that you're working out and have a physical outlet for stress. Now, again, this was the first time we freaked the F out that they were implicating Jenn into this. So I'm going to go past that because I read it. All right, let's keep going.
Of the events leading up to Maddie's death. So I guess what I want to talk about here is that potentially a defense strategy? Let's go over to what you guys are saying right now. See what you guys have to say. Let me scroll down to the bottom here. Let it refresh. I'm going to go from the bottom up here real quick. Okay. Gavin, DS wants others to be charged, in my opinion. If there's no proof, they won't be. Yeah, well, let me take a drink here.
This guy, but you're killing me today, Smalls. You're killing me. You're killing me. Take my mod.
Gavin, sounds like the parents knew as well.
Yup.
That is wow, Sandra. This might be your first comment. Like, I'm sorry I don't recognize your name. Sometimes I have the same people tend to comment over and over.
Again, Gavin and I are very aligned in this case. And Sharon, it's not even just that his dad probably saw the pictures and that hard drive in his garage. Not only that, the parents already knew what was going on behind the scenes, and they thought it was weird. They told them, why are you letting that little girl sleep with you in the same bed? You need to make her sleep alone. And Lisa, if you have a question, let me know the question, Lisa Kruger. But Chris Sterns went that night that the crime scene was the condo, and they kicked them all out, and Jenn was crying about her meds. Chris Sterns, Stephan Sterns, and Madeline, or I wish it was Madeline, Jennifer Soto had a powwow with each other when they stayed in that hotel, and they all talked about what happened. So they know what they're talking about when they're saying these little implications. I don't doubt for 1 second that they don't, that especially Chris Sterns doesn't know. All right. So, and if you guys do have a question, put my name and then ask the question, because I can't tell if you're talking to me or each other. All right. So I love how much we align on this.
Over again. But that is a terrific comment, and you need to comment more often. Okay. That was really good. It does sound like the parents knew as well. In fact, we know that from interviews with the Sterns, with Chris and Deb Sterns, that they knew of the sleeping arrangements with Madeline sleeping in the bed with Stephan and Jennifer, which is weird and creepy. And Deb thought so too, and confronted her son about it, and even had Madeline sleep with her in her bed. Apparently, they called it, Chris and Deb called it sleep divorced in their interview together. They don't sleep in the same room, snoring and all sorts of different issues. My grandparents were like that. I don't ever want to be like that. My parents aren't like that, but my grandparents were. Anyway, so it does sound like.
And so Jenn and Stephan were not, you guys, I see you in chat talking, and there's 420 people in here, by the way. So Foxy, shout out to you, 420, 420. Say a prayer, just 420. I just, because we hit that number, and it's always a thing for our girl Foxy. And we'll say a prayer, but hit the like button. Do me a favor. Let's get this in the algorithm. Now, unless Jenn did sleep through the whole time. And she told everybody and their mother that she didn't like sleeping with Stephan Sterns anymore. It hurt her when she did, and that he liked butt stuff is what she called it. So her putting her daughter into the middle of that, and that interview that just was so awkward and so odd, where she was rubbing his back and rubbing on him. Like I told you guys, the news lady thought it was such an odd interview, and it seemed so off that she called into the law enforcement and said, "You need to look at this couple. Something's wrong. That little girl's missing, and I feel like they're lying. They're using past tense. They're okay." So something was wrong. They didn't even sleep together. It's spot on right here what Gavin Fish is saying. They weren't a couple for a long time. Thank you, Synth, for the 10 Guilty Crime memberships. And you guys thank Synth, please, because she's killing it today. Thank you more. Love you, girl, for the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, Jenn pretends she needs pills for attention. I don't believe she's out. She's very, very lazy. And not once did she need to be DRUG'd up. She did that to herself, you guys, because she has to live with herself, but what she was letting her daughter be used for. Ashley, my girl, look at that cute picture down there. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super sticker. I love all your faces. I wish I could see you guys. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Jenn, I do believe, and it's gonna come out real soon, guys. The witness list is hit, and the defense are asking for witnesses that should, in fact, be for the prosecution. So it's really weird.
The Sterns knew as well. Great comment. My goodness. Love it.
Joanne.
Jen Elise says, Gavin, is Jenn testifying? I thought I heard that she is. So far, I have not seen any document. That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. I just haven't seen it. I haven't seen any document where Jennifer Soto is on any witness list. If I'm wrong about that, I would love to know. And you can go to gavinfish.com. Let me bring you over to my website real quick. Click up here.
That's a good thing that he's saying. We don't have all of the witnesses yet, and Jenn Soto is not on the ones that we can see, but there are witness lists that are redacted. I'm sure Jenn Soto is going to be on the witness list. Of course she's going to be. Thank you, Joanne Del Toro, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. And Synth, I can't pull it up because you sent it on my phone, Goofy, but I'll show it right here. Synth, and I'm jealous that she got her a hashtag I took my meds. Look at that. Look at how cute that is. You see that? She got her white. That's Synth Serber, guys. Hashtag I took my meds with the guilty of crime. It seems that people are getting their merch. That they're getting their merch that anything but the hoodies for some weird reason. Because Brieg also got her red guilty of crime shirts, and no one else is getting their dang hoodies. Okay, anyway, let's keep going. I want to find that witness list, and that's a to-do for me. I want that one. All right, I want to find that one with Jenn Soto that I think may be redacted.
And shoot me a message. I see all the messages that come in from this form. Okay, so do that. But so far, I do not think,
of course,
that Jennifer Soto is on a witness list anywhere.
We just don't have it available yet.
Gavin, maybe we need to look into Jennifer Soto's family. Maybe they might have connections of some sort, and this is why he will not throw her under the bus. Like there are bigger things that he might be afraid of. Maybe. I see what you're saying.
I don't think so.
Gavin, cooler by the.
And before I continue with Gavin, you guys are the most important thing besides the true crime that I present. My audience and your questions are important because that's how we talk through things. Now, wow, I am not happy about this at all. I do not think Tyler is going to attend court, and I'll tell you why. He doesn't have any freaking money. I don't know what happened, but I know that he broke down after the Madeline Soto thing and has been struggling. Before that, he was struggling with money, financially as well, but even more so. And I hear through the grapevine that he may have a civil suit against Jenn Soto, he can civilly sue Jenn Soto for her what she did in letting Stephan take her life and the CSAM stuff. But as far as I know, Tyler doesn't have any money, and you're absolutely right, Marlene. Tyler should be there. But the last I heard, he was trying to freaking get money together, and he wasn't able to travel back and forth from Texas to Florida. Now, don't shoot the messenger, because I feel like that sucks. And I wish he would be I mean, I would be there. If I had to sleep in a tent, I would be there. So I can't speak for him, but that's what I was told. Jay, have parents spoken out anymore? They've spoken out a few more times, but the only thing that they've really done was say that Jenn Soto's a piece of garbage. She's lazy. She's a DRUG addict, and that they know that she's involved and Stephan needs to talk. That's the only thing that they've said the whole time. That they've said the same narrative over and over. Yeah, no, they're not going to pay for him to go to court. Why would they do that? And he may be a witness, but I haven't seen him on the witness list. He hadn't seen her for like a whole year. The last time she was supposed to go to Tyler's house, Jenn gave that cockamamie story about her not wanting her to fly on the plane because somebody might film her under the bathroom door and see what she's doing in the bathroom. And then the information came out from Stephan Sterns with the pictures of him filming their roommate under the door. So there you go. Jenn Soto is in fact psychic. Breaking news. Jenn Soto's psychic. She knew that Madeline got strangled. She knew where Stephan was dumping the body. She knew Maddie's body was in the trunk. And she knew that Stephan was filming the roommate under the door. Breaking news. Jenn Soto's psychic, guys. That's 4 things she knew about. Wow. We should do a whole episode about that. That's proof that Jenn knows is what that is. That is absolute proof. And every time I talk this out, it's like, how does she know all this stuff? She could only know if she's involved. 444, we love you, Maddie. Prayers for you. And yeah, sometimes I say stuff just to make you guys laugh, and that's the LOL. I hate her so much, and you guys are laughing. She's psycho, not psychic. But she has got to be psychic, because how does she know all this stuff, you guys? How does she know all this stuff? That's way too many things for her to know. It makes no sense. And that's why they're going to Stephan. Stephan's going to flip on her. There's no way he's not going to. Let's finish this, because you'll see Gavin saying the same thing, and the people in chat with the paperwork saying the same thing that I'm telling you right now.
By the lake, says Gavin, wouldn't Stephan Sterns need tangible proof of Jenn's involvement? Otherwise becomes he said, she said situation.
And it will be.
And remember, there are a couple things regarding evidence. Number one, Stephan Sterns formatted his phone. He reset his phone twice. Now, they're going to be able to get stuff using Celebrite and stuff like that. They're going to be able to get a lot of it. But one of the things that we don't know about yet, and probably because there are many reasons why we don't know this, but there are a couple reasons. One, maybe there isn't an investigation into Jennifer Soto, or two, it's just not public record yet. I don't know, but I would imagine that the text exchanges between Stephan Sterns and Jennifer Soto would be evidence. I also think that if Stephan Sterns was recording things, which we know he was of Little Miss Maddie,
yep,
and we also know that he was recording the roommate, maybe there are some other recordings that are.
And you guys know I have a lot to talk about all the time about this, and I'm so knee deep in this case. Gavin, I love where you're going with this, but what they're going to get on Jenn Soto isn't going to be a hard proof that says, Stephan, did you move Maddie's body yet? I'm coming back for my blood appointment. That's why they sat down and chit-chatted with each other and did the whole reset phone and her delete certain things. What they are going to get are text messages where she already told on herself and said, no, Stephan, you gave her too many doses. What? I should call poison control. Or him telling her I gave her extra medication. Those are the kind of things that they're going to get. They're not going to get a hardcore like, oh, fist pump. Thanks for last night. That was a great threesome with us. Way to go, Sterns. They lived in the same location. She wasn't going to text him. They're not going to find text messages like that. It is going to be a he said, she said, but he's going to be able to fill in the blanks about him and Maddie being in the room that night, something happening. He walked off to blow off steam because an argument happened. When he came back, Maddie wasn't breathing anymore. That's he said, she said. And then she's going to have to say, what are you talking about? I was sleeping that night. I didn't do that. You're the one. It's going to be that kind of thing because everything happened in the house that night. We're talking about the capital MUR capital red rum case right now. That's what we're talking about. And that happened all in one night within hours. They both did the whole, let's meet up here. You go do that. Come back at this time. Go do that. Come back at this time. I'm going to do that. Come back at this time. We'll talk while I go pick her up. You go make sure her body's gone. He got a flat tire in an accident. And then they reconvene. They're not going to get text messages that say anything like, they're going to get a text message that say, shit, I got a flat tire. And then she's going to freak out and be like, damn it. I know Maddie's in the trunk, but she's not going to say that to him. It's going to be a him saying that, her saying that. But you guys are going to probably poop yourselves when you do hear it come out of Stephan's mouth that Jenn had something to do with it. Because he is going to, in my opinion, say something like that. And while she was doing that morning, she handed him the leash so he could buckle her in. But she was doing her blood appointment. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a he said, she said. And that's fine because people get convicted on that all the time. But there will be questionable text messages that come on the stand. I'll tell you that right now. Absolutely, they're going to ask her, well, what the heck does that mean at midnight when you said this or that, and it sounds kind of in a sexual manner, but not for sure. Or maybe her saying, or Jenn saying to Steph, no, while you're out at Walgreens, can you grab another couple of pregnancy tests? And then they're going to say, well, Jenn, I thought you guys weren't even sleeping together. And she's going to say, oh, well, but we did that one time between then, and I forgot about that. But I got scared that time. So that's why he did that. When in fact, it was for Maddie because he was sleeping with Maddie, or you know what I mean, abusing Maddie. Those are the kind of things that we're going to see. And thank you, Joanne Del Toro, for the $5 super sticker. I appreciate you. Maddie does not look pregnant at all in that picture. She, matter of fact, looks beautiful, and she looks like she's growing tall and becoming a woman. She actually was taller than Jenn right before she passed away. But she does look like she's been violated. Yeah, she's got the dark circles and stuff because she was being violated. Yeah, I need to go to Walgreens. # get your meds. I think you're going to Dree. What does that mean? I think you're going to Dree. Okay, let's keep going.
That would implicate Jennifer as well, but we don't know that yet. Great comment, Cooler by the Lake. Gavin, firstly, he'd have to admit to what he's done, and he's far too much of a victim for that at the moment. Yeah, well, I think he's being smart. I mean, okay. Like, don't think that I just called Stephan Sterns smart. I don't think that he is. I think that he is a predator that is finally honed his craft of predation, if that's a word. Yeah, I think it is, of not only his victims, but his victims' gatekeepers, as Beth Meeks told us when she was on a while back. We need to have Beth back on. I need to reach out to Beth.
Yes.
But he does seem to have good counsel. His counselor, I didn't prepare a photo of her. She is a public defender. She is good counsel, and he is likely taking her advice. So I don't know that it's that he's a victim. It's that he's now in the game of the court of law, and he has to play it well. Good comment.
And I appreciate that. Gavin saying that he does have to play it well. That's why he's being quiet. He blatantly told his parents the reason he hasn't said anything is because his attorney told him not to talk until trial, you guys. So you best believe he's going to have stuff to say. And Blue Sapphire, there's another great example of things they're going to bring up in court. Maddie is no longer sleeping with me because I can't risk it. Now you're talking about the CSAM stuff. Right now we're still talking about the Capital Red Rum case, right? Because that's what this one's about here. We haven't even got to that yet. Gavin is a teddy bear. And he's got one of my mods right now. So there, he's got my mods, and I've got his cute little picture of Maddie. Wasn't she adorable, guys? Gorgeous little girl. Man, oh, so beautiful. I can't believe what happened. Yeah, I mean, in that too, she didn't explain Woody Allen when they asked her. Those are the things that they're going to bring up, and you better believe a good attorney is going to bring that up. I think it's possible Jennifer Soto get convicted, Stephan Sterns, that Maddie, and he felt that he had to. Interesting. Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what comes out of the autopsy, toxicology, all that stuff, right? All right. Let's keep going. So beautiful. So cute. I want to pinch her cheeks. Oh.
Lula Ruger says if Sterns had one shred of humanity, he would plead guilty. He has caused enough pain and anguish. Let this beautiful angel rest in peace.
He's not going to do that.
Hey, I appreciate this. I appreciate this comment. Let me just share a little bit of my belief on this.
And before he shares that belief, thank you for saying pretty pic. I've never seen that one. That's how much you guys got to love our mod, Bree. Bree's the one that dug up most of these pictures, folks. And like I said, we share information. Gavin shares stuff with me and I share stuff with him. He had the same picture of Maddie for a really long time. And Bree said, hey, Gavin, we need more pictures of Maddie. Why don't I give you the pictures that we have so you can put more pictures up there, Maddie, so we can see all of them. So let's thank Bree, even though she's not here in chat, for getting those pictures over to Gavin and having other pictures to look at except the same ones over and over. Thank you, Bree. I know you'll hear this later. Very pretty one. She always does an excellent job at her research. And that's why she's not with us today, because she did such a good job on research on the Naziah case that she's not with us because she's helping somebody else out. Okay, I'm past that. Let's keep going. Just kidding. I like to make you guys laugh sometimes. Yeah, just sharing and speculating with buddies, right? All right, let's keep going. I want to hear what he thinks. I already know what he's going to say because we aligned so much. It's really surprising.
And I'm not going to get fully religious on this. Just my personal belief. I think Maddie is resting in peace. I think everything that's going on here in this life doesn't matter to her anymore. I think that she is now just has moved on. That's what I hope so anyway. That's what I believe. Now, if Sterns has a shred of humanity, he would plead guilty. I mean, the likelihood of that happening is very high. 99% of cases get disposed of before they reach a jury trial. Having said that, Duty Ron was commenting on one of my videos a little while back, and he was like, I would bet my pension that this goes to trial. So I don't know. At this point, I really feel that the justice system, the fidelity of the justice system is super important, and we need to let it run its course. So I hope that Mr. Sterns has a vigorous and competent defense. I hope that the prosecution is...
And don't come at me for him calling him Mr. Sterns. People already talked crap to him. It's Satan Sterns. We'll let Gavin know it's Satan Sterns, okay? We'll let him know. And RL, that's great, Rebecca. Corey Michelow, Rebecca Michelow's grandma is writing a book, and we all are here to support her. So yeah, all cases matter, you guys. And all I gotta say is she's so pretty, she's such a little angel. And I do believe, and it makes me feel better to think that once somebody passes away, they're no longer in pain anymore. They're no longer being abused. They're no longer hurting. They're no longer confused. Especially as a child, I couldn't even imagine that in my wildest nightmares. So may she rest in peace, and I'm sure she is. I'm sure she is. I'd rather think of it that way. And I did shout you out, Foxy Amazon, when we hit 420 people. Right now we have 473 people, but I didn't forget my girl Foxy. So thank you. Stephan Sterns will definitely want a trial. He's been getting away with BS stories his whole life. He thinks he could talk his way out, and his parents are going to be there to do the same thing. They're going to be there. They're going to be witnesses. Trust that. Trust that they're going to talk bad about Jenn Soto, and they're going to do their damnedest so that he doesn't get death row. I'll tell you right now, there will be a trial.
Vigorously prosecuting this, and that we will get a verdict that is just. And that verdict in my mind is guilty. But I feel that we should just allow the system to move forward. I don't know that I'm necessarily disagreeing with you, Lula Ruger. That's just what I'm. That's just what your comment prompted in me. Hand of Ike says, "Yay, fluff and sensationalism." Yeah, that's. Demon Hugger says we should get Gavin to wear a tie for an episode. Gavin does not wear ties anymore. Gavin is tie free. I reserve the right to change my position, but I have had enough of ties in my life. Now, ascots, cravats, yes, I will do those.
He's adorable that he does an ascot, doesn't he? And Teresa Knight says, Maddie, you matter, from Advocate Teresa and Mr. David. Thank you, Teresa. We love you, Teresa, and Mr. David. I love that people call him Mr. David. I know who we're talking about when you say that. Welcome, everybody that's coming in here or leaving. Hit the like button. Do us a favor. Get this little girl's get out this video for the awareness of this little girl. We want as many people to support this case. And also, I will go there. I'm so happy that I'm sure it's going to get pushed out, because you guys know that all the stuff's being worked on right now, which means I can go fly over to Florida for the trial now. My house will be done this year, you guys, and I'm going to meet all of these advocates and all of these people out there. And we also do need to get the Maddie locks going, you guys. It's on my page. I'll do that when I'm done. I need everybody's help for that. All right, let's keep going. I just got me a pack of white t-shirts with a v-neck, nice and comfy. I'm like this guy. I want to be dressed down. I'm tired of having to wear the shirts and make sure they're not wrinkled every day. All right, my favorite nurse mentor was named Teresa Knight. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, September trial could totally do. I don't think that's going to happen, but you know, PJ, I was looking for Turtle Island the other day and I couldn't find you, girlfriend. I didn't know what that was. Can you drop a link in chat? I looked everywhere for where the frick Turtle Island. That's PJ, guys. PJ Vision, Dolly Vision, PJ Dolly, you know, the couple. So I was looking for Turtle Island and Guilty of Crimes up there, but I need a link because I could not find you for the life of me. So please do drop a link in chat. Everyone says hello to you, PJ. All right. Now, if he pleads guilty, Maddie doesn't get the true justice because Jenn never gets charged. Absolutely right. But he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that at all. So, yeah. You guys, if you know it too, PJ Vision, Turtle Island, all that, drop me a link because I have no idea. Oh, it's on the community post I just made and on Dolly Vision. Okay, because I went to Dolly's community page last time and I couldn't find it for the freaking life of me. So thank you. Synth seems to know what it is. You guys go over there after. Minnesota Girl, thank you so much for the 999 super sticker. Love you, girl. We're going to pretend like it's the smiling little cute avocado that's nice and soft. All right. I'm glad that whatever troll that was in here earlier went bye-bye, because we're all in love with each other and trying to boost each other up, and then you get some person that comes in here and just tries to sideswipe the fact that we're talking about getting complete justice for Maddie. Thank you, PJ and Choppa, you're welcome, Rebecca Mitchell. We will continue to support you as long as you need. So it doesn't matter if I'm alive for another 20 years, I'm here. That's how it goes. That's how it goes with us Leos, right? I got my Leo twin in here, and she knows how Leos are. You can't get rid of us. All right, we love you, Sadie's mama. Let's keep going. Yeah, Sharon Belko's my twin. She's my twin Leo, and we just don't go away, you guys. You can't get rid of us.
Okay, so that is a good place to go back to my talking points, okay? Let me move on to the next one that I prepared for you. Okay, frustration over, let's see. Let me go to... Well, I guess what I wanted to just point out was there seems to be tension between the Sterns and Soto families. I don't know if that's kind of a public narrative or if they're just not even talking. And if I were them,
I'll pause it real quick just because I'm going to explain it real quick one more time, Rosie. It's how the justice system works. You're innocent until proven guilty. It doesn't matter if it's obvious or not. I can go over there and red rum you, and you could take a picture of me red rumming someone, and then I can get arrested, and I can still say not guilty because it's a tactic that the defense uses to get time to gather information to show a lesser crime. It could mean that if I red rummed her, I was doing it because she provoked me or I was scared. So it doesn't matter how obvious you think it is. It's a tactic that we use in this United States of America. I don't know how it works anywhere else, but that's how it works here, unfortunately. Thank you, Michelle or Michelet, if that's what your name is. And Teresa Knight, thank you. Mr. David says, match him and support our girl Jay. Thank you so much. And you guys, I promise if you knew who Mr. David was, you guys would all love him as well. These ladies have been here since day one of the Madeline Soto case, and they do so much for this case. Just know that. If you don't know, you don't know. If you know, you understand that. Thank you so very much. Sharon finally popped back up and said, and always care. Foxy, try warm. See, there's my Leo friend. Thank you again, Teresa. And we're going to get locks. We're going to get more locks out there. We need those locks for this little girl. And just real quick before I get back to that, you guys, I posted a community post about the locks. And of course, someone had to go over there and say, don't put locks up, because when you put locks up, something, it's a designated area, folks. I promise you, I wouldn't direct you to go put locks on someone's fence that doesn't want it. They've designated this area for this little angel, Madeline Soto, to show locks of love and show love that's going to stay there. So we know where her body was laid to rest originally. And that was where her memorial was and where her vigil was. So when you come on there and you tell people not to support what I'm saying, please don't do that. Please don't do that. I want to support her. I don't want you telling people not to support that when we need the support. And you got to just trust that I'm doing a good thing for the community. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. It's like, dang, man. I love you, Precocent. My hair I just got a haircut like a day ago. No, I literally just got a haircut like 3 days ago, and look, it's already growing back. I need my haircut fund, you guys. But yeah, thank you. I just trust what I'm saying, guys. We need more locks. All right. And welcome, MM Clark. I was missing you. I was like, why is MM not in here today?
They just wouldn't even be communicating.
Thank you.
There is an article that I want to bring up for you guys. And I should have, what date was this? Let me open this up in my browser real quick. So this is back from September. So this isn't new or anything. I just, this does a very good job of characterizing some interviews that were released without us having to listen to the audio. Okay. So over 3 hours of police interviews released to the media last week paint a picture of Stephan Sterns, the man police have charged with SAing and murdering Kissimmee 13-year-old Madeline Soto in the final week of February last year. The Kissimmee Police Department, Osceola County Sheriff's Office, and Orange County Sheriff's Office interviewed his father, Chris Sterns, of Northport between February 27th and 29th, after Soto had gone missing, but before her body was discovered along Hickory.
All right, we'll get back to that in a second, but I wanted to show you these. Look at that lock. That's just one of the locks that we sent over, guys. Is a picture of Maddie with her sunflower. We put the keys there to make sure you get them on, get them off. We put another one there that says Madeline, guilty of crime. I mean, come on, guys. How could you not want to show love for this little girl? How could you want to even say some Debbie Downer comment when we're doing a good thing for the community? Right? That's just one of the locks, you guys, that we're sending over there. We really, I mean, I just don't understand. This one is beautiful. Maddie Soto, Forever 13, from Guilty of Crime, with a bunch of hearts on it. Look at that. And it's got the keys on it. It's got the hearts. It's all engraved, Forever 13. Like, who wouldn't want that kind of memorial for a beautiful little angel? Please, guys. If you guys don't like life, go and don't enjoy it somewhere else. Thank you, Alazita, for the $4.99 super sticker. I appreciate you, and Synth for everything. We definitely need to talk. I've been crazy busy this week. My goodness. Oh well, thank you to whoever gifted a membership. Yes, we got PJ Vision as a member now. Look at that. You're a star, PJ. You didn't even know it. You know your man's a star. You and Dolly are stars. All right, let's keep going here. Now we're talking about Stephan Sterns. He's gonna flip the script on Jennifer Soto. You better believe that. Okay, here's back to the parents and them blaming. And they're gonna say this on the stand, guys. They will be there.
Tree Road south of St. Cloud on March 1st. They also interviewed Chris and mother Deborah Sterns on September 6th in Northport. The two made it clear they didn't approve of their son's relationship with Jennifer Soto. Madeline's mother saying the byproduct of her mental state due to taking medication for anxiety and other issues made her not a good influence for her son.
He makes me want to drink too.
I think that's a little rich. I mean, who is not a good influence on whom? I don't know, but quote, she's bipolar, bisexual, a drug addict. The family was disapproving. She was sharing drugs with Stephan, Deborah Sterns said. She was spiraling down and taking him down with her. They were feeding off of each other and not in a positive way, said Chris Sterns. She is as culpable as he is.
Look at that
regarding
right there.
The death of Matt.
Right there. That's huge regarding the death of her daughter. I am going to tell you right now that I would almost bet my car keys on it, even though, guys, your girl Jay, even though I come here happy every day, I went to go start my car this morning to take my daughter to school, and my battery didn't start again. Second time this week. Had to get a new battery. It cost me $500 freaking dollars, and yet I'm still happy. So that being said, you don't need to have money to buy the locks. You can buy some 99-cent store locks. It doesn't even matter. Any of you guys, I don't want you to think that it's a lot. We would love to. You can also reach out to us. We can help. If you guys, we can do something as a community to come together. So yeah, we don't need to spend $18 a lock. We can get a bunch of dollar store locks and show the support. And also what I wanted to say there is thank you, Marge Bunn, for the $5 showing some support. That's a huge statement. They said Chris Sterns was there when Jenn Soto and Stephan Sterns got the hotel together and they talked. Chris talked. Jenn talked. They talked about getting Stephan a lawyer. They talked. He's going to say something. He already said multiple times that Jenn is culpable for it. He's going to be in court. He's going to say that. He's going to tell them what they talked about at the hotel. He knows his son is getting charged already. He knows she's getting charged, but what charge is he getting? It's clear. I mean, look at that. They put regarding the death of her daughter. They're not. I don't know how many you can make it any more clear. I know, LJ. At least it wasn't a Tesla. Tesla batteries are like $7,000. All I have is a Kia Soul, but you got to get somebody to buy it and put it in, Vanessa. So that's what I'm in. I'm in freaking San Jose, California, y'all. When you live in San Jose, California, everything is 3 times more expensive. It's just how it goes. All right, let's go.
Madeline. Stephan's emotions were erratic and unpredictable due to the medications he's been on, the father said, and the parents said he was diagnosed with a TBI, traumatic brain injury, from a car crash during his youth, and he was on an IEP, an individual education plan, while in school. And I know that
there's Bree.
Like there are different kinds of IEPs. One is for those that are struggling and need help. Another might be for those who are advanced and are kind of ahead of the curve. I think that this obviously is talking about Stephan Sterns needing help. Okay. Chris Sterns says he spent a lifetime lying to us. And Sterns, yeah, that whole interview. I think he even said if his lips were moving, he was lying.
All right, real quick. Thank you. Welcome back, Bree. She walked in. She came for a second. Synth, thank you so much. And you guys, please thank Synth. Here's the receipt right here. It's actually $466.25 for that battery. $466.25. So I was off by a few dollars. I rounded up to $500. San Jose tax is 9.375%. And then they charge me all these other weird taxes and services crap. $466.25 for a new battery. And just for a tip for you guys, they said that the batteries are going out, right? Like everybody that's getting that their batteries are dying, it's because the cold weather. So if you haven't got your battery changed in a while, it's gonna die right now because of the cold. So yes, honey, you're home. Bree says, thank you for the gift. I love the Cheshire Cat. You're very welcome. Hit that like button, you guys. And I bought that car for Reese. Reese is 10 years old. I bought that car when Reese was in Tori's stomach. So now Reese is 10. My car is like 11 years old. So there you go. All right, let's keep going. I don't need a fancy smancy car. All I do is drive a couple miles and that's it.
The parents said Stephan worked at Disney for a year and appeared to have his life on an upward path, but he left the job and formed a pattern of always being short of money. At one point, when Stephan and Jennifer agreed not to be in a relationship, Chris said Stephan took over one of the upstairs bedrooms at Jennifer's Venetian Bay condominium, and going back to November 2022, was being charged $600 a month for a rent, an amount Chris said he ended up paying many months. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I do. I was about to say, I don't know why a parent would do that for their grown child, pay their rent all the time. But as I've been an adult, I've needed help from my parents from time to time, and they've been always willing and able to do that. And thinking about,
now, you guys, that they knew Stephan had different kinds of problems, and one problem were his kinks. That he was filming his friends back in the day, his friend's girlfriend, and his mom, Deborah Sterns, paid so that he didn't go to jail. They didn't want him to go to jail, and so they paid him off, and that was on the Who We Don't Speak About GHI channel. He had that exclusive interview. So paying $600 to not have a lazy bum at your house is a pretty good deal. But when you think about who was holding the puppet strings, the whole point of our show today, you guys, is Jennifer Soto. And will she be blamed by Stephan for the taking of Maddie's life? Is he going to betray her? And my scales that I have right here, here's the scale that says he's not going to, and here's a scale that says he's going to, and it way outweighs the scale that he's going to than not going to, you guys. So she held those. She's still with the string puppet. She knows that she couldn't reach out to him. She knows she had to keep playing that whole I don't want nothing to do with that guy now. So of course she's not going to reach out to him, you guys. But yeah, it all signs point to Stephan, and it's going to be a he said, she said. I really hope they can find some evidence, guys. And I think they will be able to find some circumstantial evidence that points to the taking of Maddie's life. Jenn can't even say, listen up here. Here's one thing that they can use in court right off the bat. She made in the police statement that I showed you yesterday that she saw Maddie getting dressed at 8 a.m. in the morning when she was going to school. Now, listen up, folks. She did see Maddie getting dressed in the morning, in my opinion, because she helped dress Maddie to get her out of the house. She said that Maddie was wearing black shorts and a green hoodie. She saw her in that green hoodie, folks, but she wasn't alive yet. Or she wasn't alive still, I mean. She was already dead. So there's one thing circumstantially you can use against Jenn Soto and say, yeah, Jenn Soto did see Maddie that morning and she did see her dressed. She helped dress the body, you guys. She helped dress the body. She said black shorts and a green hoodie. She knew about the green hoodie, but I think the black shorts were underneath the jeans. Maybe they were like shorts. Sometimes I do that with my daughter. I put like little biker shorts on instead of underwear because they keep them warmer. It's kind of like black short, like long john type of things. I think she helped Stephan dress the body. And then she told the officer she saw her at 8 a.m. going to school. So there's one circumstantial piece. And also, number two, what about the croc? The croc fell off in her room. She had both crocs. When she left the house, Stephan carried her out. Her socks were clean, and she left it right in Jenn's room. There's two things. Circumstantial, guys. What's up, Andy? Good to see you, girl. They're not gonna let her off. They're not gonna, there's no way. There's no way when we're hearing all this stuff right here, there's no way they're gonna let her off. And Stephan's all but said, I did it, but Jenn helped. Or Jenn did it, but I helped. He said everything but those words, you guys. I always read between the lines and then I tell you what the writing is. Instead of giving you the BS, I take all the words and I cut it down to 5 and say, here's how it is. And that's what he's doing right now.
Our own children, we have a daughter and son-in-law who are living in an expensive place and may come to us, and we would happily give that help. But it does seem like in the case of Stephan Sterns, he was a problem child and he seemed to be enabled by Chris, who apparently wasn't able to say no to him. I don't know that I would behave differently. It just seems like that's the way it is being an armchair quarterback, right? Okay. I didn't realize I was supporting the whole family, he said. After Stephan left Kissimmee and went back to Northport in 2023, the parents said he'd lock himself in his room all day and only come out for dinner, but would be on FaceTime with Jennifer while out of the room. The parents said Stephan had planned to go to Kissimmee for Madeline's birthday party on February 25th, 2024, which, guys, he wasn't invited to that birthday party.
No, he was not.
So he had a different reason. He had a different motive for going up there. It was not the birthday party. He never, this is my opinion, he never was going to that birthday party. He never wanted to go to that birthday party.
Of course not.
I think that his particular mental illness was calling him, like what they call the dark passenger on Dexter, right? Was calling him, and he needed to go back for his fix. I think that's what it was. I really do.
And this is my man, Gavin. I love him. I hope you guys are watching the new season of Dexter. And yes, he was freaking out that week, you guys. He was absolutely freaking out that whole week. He said it was about money. I don't think it was about money at all, because he didn't need money because everyone gave it to him. No one ever said he was behind on bills or anything. But yeah, he did. He was also getting upset that Maddie, you heard how upset he sounded when he told her, when he said he thinks she had a crush on a boy. And he said, I told her, crush on, man, crush on. Now's the time to crush on. But you're too young to be doing the sex stuff. I think he was upset that was upsetting him all week, that she was doing good in school, she wasn't taking her pills, and he didn't have control over her. So as far as the CSAM stuff, he's screwed. He's already screwed. But when it comes to the September 22nd trial that will probably be pushed out, he's going to blame Jenn. He's going to say he didn't want her not alive. Him and her were Woody Allen, according to Jenn. They were going to have that when she was 18 in his sick, twisted mind. All right, let's keep going.
I don't know that any of you would disagree with me on that. He said he'd be gone a week, and Chris and Deborah said they looked forward to the break.
Thank you.
Chris said Madeline called Stephan to make sure he was coming Sunday for her birthday party thrown by her grandmother. Indications are from records that he arrived in Kissimmee after the party, and Stephan called Chris when he arrived. Chris said he tried to reach Stephan during the early afternoon on Monday, February 26th, the day Madeline went missing.
Thank you.
And when he finally reached Stephan at 3:17 p.m., his voice sounded a little off, Chris said. I thought maybe he didn't have a good night's sleep. Yeah, probably didn't. Probably didn't have a good night's sleep. And then he said he had a flat tire. Now the radar goes up. And Chris's radar was finely tuned. Stephan was vague about where the flat happened. Then at 4:54, Stephan called to say he was en route to Madeline's grandmother's office. He said there's been an occurrence. I thought that was a strange word to use, Chris said. A flat tire and this, 2 events in one day. That's weird. Stephan talked about how he said he dropped Madeline off at school at Hunters Creek Middle School, at a church down the road, and on the opposite side of State Route 417 because Maddie didn't want to be seen dropped off in front of the school because he didn't drive a cool enough car, and then blah, 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 blah. Let's see, a couple things here. Chris said almost the same interview he gave on Tuesday. Let me just read the whole paragraph. He then talked about how he held himself responsible for Madeline's disappearance. The same interview he gave on Tuesday to TV media on the 27th, Chris said, almost like he was rehearsing it to me. Chris said Jennifer texted him on the 28th, the day Stephan was arrested, to ask him to get Stephan a lawyer, and described the sexual images found on his phone and Google Drive. And she was concerned about his legal defense. When asked by the detective if the couple...
Okay, now he didn't expand on that, but I'm going to tell you, she's concerned about his legal defense because she doesn't want him talking about what happened. She knows that if he gets a legal defense for the capital charge, the capital red rum charge, then he's going to stop talking, and that person that's going to represent him is going to help him to not get the death penalty. But if he doesn't get a good defense and he starts talking, he's going to point the finger at her, which is already starting to happen, you guys. There's dribs and drabs, which is what we're talking about today. There's no other reason that she would want him to get an attorney to help him when she says, you got the wrong guy. I told him we got the wrong guy. Yeah, they do got the wrong guy because it was you, Jenn, that was involved in that. It wasn't for the CSAM stuff because she didn't know about that. Remember? They didn't tell her about that yet. What's up, Spectral Whispers? Good to see you. So, yeah, of course she wanted him to have a good defense because she doesn't want him talking. Why would? Because when he does, you're screwed, Jenn.
Couple thoughts. Stearns was capable of doing this. Deborah replied, if you asked me Sunday, the day before Madeline went missing, I'd say never in a million years. He loved that child as his stepdaughter. He was not allowed to discipline her. Jennifer did that, but he served as a peacekeeper. Indeed, in another part of the interview, Deborah said when Jennifer and Madeline would come to Northport to visit, he observed them butting heads to the point that Deborah thought Madeline exhibited the same bipolar tendencies as her mother. At one point, she heard Madeline refer to Stephan as dad. In that same interview,
oh, I bet she did. Like I said, there was one point in their twisted, I don't know what to call the twisted nature of what was going on with them. Yeah, my dog said hello. the twisted nature of their relationship. I'm sure she was all in for Stephan, and we heard the coins, right? We need the baby coins, and people assumed that was her pregnancy. But that month that he was gone, she was over that. She realized she's not hurting. She's not having to take the Miralax and the pills. She's not feeling tired. She's doing good in school, whatever it may be. That's the biggest motive for me, is that she was over it and she spoke out, and there was some jealousy thing between Jenn and Stephan. And I don't know how exactly it went. I hope it does come out. Yeah, doggy. But yeah, Deb is an enabler. I can't stand those parents. No wonder they won't come on here. She wouldn't write me back. I wrote her and she wouldn't write me back at all. So yeah, whatever. And at the very end of the show, I'm going to lead you to my page for the locks for Maddie. It's just a P.O. box in St. Cloud. You can go to the 99-cent dollar store, whatever you call that over there, and grab a 5-pack, send it over. That will help. If you need money to do that, I'll send you, I'll Zelle you, Cash App you, whatever you want. Just let me know, okay? I'm doing that right now with JoJo. We're doing the really pretty ones, but again, it's all the thought that counts. It's not about the money we spend. It's about the love that we show for Maddie, and that we remember her. We don't want to forget her, and we're not going to.
Deborah told investigators about a premonition or dream she had that made her think the death was accidental. Quote, in the dream, they were in Maddie's room unclothed. Jenn came in to wake her up, was confronted by them being together in a way that shouldn't have been. A struggle ensued, and she hit her head and broke her neck. And Jenn said to Stephan, you caused this, you have to fix this. Deborah said of the dream.
Oh. All right, guys, we had to pause for that. That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my entire life, except for when you watch a true crime show and when the cops talk to somebody, they'll say something like, well, my friend said this, or I had this dream, or the cops say, hey, what's your supposition? What would you suppose would happen? And then the person always, it's like clickbait, right? It's like bait to get them to talk. What she just said there, I bet you carries a whole bunch more weight than any of you guys even thought. I'm going to have to read that again. When the detective asked about Stephan Sterns was capable of doing this, Deborah replied, if you asked me Sunday, the day before Maddie went missing, I'd say never in a million years. He loved the child as his stepdaughter. He wasn't allowed to discipline her. Jenn did that, but he served as a peacekeeper. So in other words, whenever they argued or whatever, she'd run to Stephan, and Jenn would probably say, go sleep with him. I don't want nothing to do with you guys. Then we're going to talk about the dream. In the dream, they were in Maddie's room unclothed. Now, you know what we're talking about, right? In the dream, Stephan Sterns and Madeline Soto were naked in the room. Jenn walked into the room to wake her up and confronted them by being together in a way that they shouldn't have. A struggle ensued, and she hit her head and broke her neck. And Jenn said to Stephan, you caused this, you have to fix it. Deborah said in the dream. In other words, you caused this, we're going to get her dressed, and you're going to go dump her body and get rid of it. I cannot wait until this trial happens, you guys. I cannot wait. That does not sound like a dream to me. It sounds like something that Stephan told Chris and Chris told her. Now, nothing. Yeah, Deb believes everything Stephan Sterns, but she calls him a liar at the same time. Many cops use this tactic to find out what happened. They'll get a killer in the room and say, well, if you didn't do it, that's fine. But, can you get into the mind of a killer for a minute and tell me, if you were that killer, what do you think would have happened to this girl? And they show a picture of a body, and the person will say, well, if I were that person, it looked like I would have. And they're very, very specific about what happened. That's way too specific. Now, the roommate wouldn't have heard that necessarily. The roommate heard something hitting the dresser. So all of this stuff here, as much as we can say the roommate heard that, no roommate heard her being abused for all of those years. So I don't expect that the roommate would have heard Maddie falling and hitting her head on the desk and breaking her neck. Or you don't hear when somebody's being strangled, you guys. You don't. You can't talk. Have you ever been choked or lost your breath? You can't talk or scream. So if somebody's strangling you, which is how she died, the hyoid bone was broken, you wouldn't hear that, but you might hear something hitting the dresser. All right, that was just way too specific for my taste. Sorry. Thank you, Indy Randolph, for the $2.99 super sticker, and we're gonna say that we're gonna make fun of that meandering. We're gonna wonder what meandering Satan Sterns is gonna do in this trial. Main Hypnosis LLC became a new member. Well, hello. I like to imitate your guys' pictures. All right, let's keep going. That's just too weird. It's too specific, you guys. Doesn't
Okay.
Way too specific.
Bring Maddie back up. So their view of all this is that that Stephan didn't bear, them being Chris and Deb Sterns, that Stephan didn't bear all the responsibility. They talk about Jennifer spiraling.
I'm not saying that's exactly what happened, Lisa Lynn. I'm saying it's way too specific. Notice Deb said she broke her neck. Now, she's not a medical examiner, but we do know that her hyoid bone was broken, and we do know that she was strangled. So by her saying she broke her neck, that's very, 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 very specific. But she's not a medical examiner. Would any of you guys even know what a hyoid bone was before we heard that in the case? Just way too specific for me. Again, I'm not saying that's exactly what happened. I'm saying it sounds like something that she heard and not a dream, you guys. Just like you remember when the cops came to her house and she was running outside in the forest yelling Maddie's name when they rolled up. What? What does that even mean?
Down, taking their son with her and believing that she is as culpable as he is. I'm curious what you guys think of that. So let me head on over to your conversation. Is going to go down to the...
I'm going to go a little bit forward because we've been here for a while and I don't know why my dog's yelling at me. Hold on.
The gallery, kind of shaking my head going, why did they bring this witness up here? He's, got all these sorts of different problems. But if a prosecutor can make the jury believe that that person is credible, sometimes by just outing their problems, right? Jennifer was participating in this. She did see things though, I don't know, maybe. Great comment. So many of you. Beach Fairy, Gavin, I get genuinely angry and sad that people like Stephan have that unconditional love from their parents. I never had that. I can't wrap my head around it. Yeah, the thing is, Beach Fairy, I don't know that it's unconditional love. Because I unconditionally love.
All right, and we're going to hang out for another few minutes, and then I'm going to go to the locks. We've had a big conversation today. We still have 550 people in chat. I mean, this is just, you can't help to talk so long about this when the trial is coming up. There's things that are going to happen in between, but there's a lot, guys. This is a lot, and it's very specific. And if I had a list, it would even take longer to go through the actual things that Jenn has said to implicate herself and everything that Stephan has said to implicate her.
Of my children, I do. We have 5 of them, and we love them. However, if a daughter of mine or a son of mine came to me and said, I made this terrible mistake and so is now dead, I would definitely get them a lawyer for sure, but we would be turning them in. We would be turning our child in.
Yeah.
And I don't know that Chris and Deb Sterns would have. This is unconditional enabling is what it feels like, not necessarily unconditional love. I have unconditional love for my parents, but the moment I am in the wrong, I do not get their defense. I get their love, but I do not get their defense. And one of the beautiful things about being a younger child, like I'm number 4 of 5, I get to see that played out in my older.
We're gonna go a little bit farther because I don't have time. I can't. I love you, Gavin, but can't listen all
Go
this.
through their conversations. I don't know that. I don't think it would be a fair commentary to say that they believe everything that he says. I think the characterization that I would put is that they believe that Jennifer is also culpable.
Yeah.
Good comment. Thank you. All right. Let's go back over to my talking points. I've got a couple other things. Oh yeah, let's talk about urging Stephan to prioritize self-preservation. Again, we're talking about this in the frame of, will Stephan Sterns flip on, bring up Stephan's.
Okay, and that we'll talk about this last part because I'm sure he's going to. In my opinion, I'd bet my car keys on it that he is going to. That is his only defense at this point. And he even told his parents he's not going to say anything until trial. He's saving it for that.
Sterns, will he flip on Jennifer Soto? And will he try to preserve himself? And there is that quote in the conversation with his mom, please get out of your head. Let me see if I can find this.
Here, it's this for you, Sharon.
Yeah, here it is. Please get out of your head over this and start talking with your attorneys. This stuff is serious. You need to approach it as life and death, which it is. I think of the craziness Madeline lived through with Jenn's various partners, not a stable life for a child, right? So they're saying you need to prioritize your self-preservation. You need to get out of your own head and try to preserve your life. And I do remember in the recorded conversations, Chris Sterns telling him, listen, best case scenario is 40 years. We're going to be gone by the time you get out. That is the way it is going to be. Best case scenario. So at least I believe that in Chris Sterns' mind, he believes that his son is definitely getting.
Oh no, he knows. And Stephan has not ever said he did not do that. Stephan has never once said I didn't do it. He's only ever said I didn't start it. I didn't start it. He said he's only ever said I'm not the only one. He's only ever said I'll talk about it when trial comes. He's never said, Dad, Mom, I did not do this. I did not do this. I don't know why I'm implicated. He's never said that. And he's the only thing he's ever said that stands out to me at this point in time is that he's going to wait for trial to talk. So, okay, so she's blaming that other Stephen. She is not accepting Stephan Sterns. No, she's blaming Stephan Sterns. I don't know that she wants to blame him. She still hasn't really blamed him. She just put on an act for everybody because she doesn't want to start blaming him and then him start talking. He's not going to talk until trial comes, and he's only going to talk through his lawyer. Now, Kylie says, I don't know what to think when it comes to Chris. Deb would 100% cover. Well, I don't understand when they're not covering because they're clearly saying that Stephan did it in all of their emails and all of their interactions with Stephan. They're implicating their own son in it, but they're saying he didn't do it alone. So they're still not trying to say that. They're still not trying to say he didn't do it. What's up, V? How you doing? All right. Yeah, I didn't start it. He's never said I didn't do it. Never. Not once. And I'm sure he's talked to his lawyer about that as well. Of course, he's had to, right?
Convicted here. But they're saying, but at least try to save your own life. This is life and death. Try to save your own life. Listen to your lawyers, talk to your lawyers, and talk about the part that Jennifer Soto had in all this.
Yep.
That's what I think they're saying. Now, I think we got to play devil's advocate, right? Is it possible? Is it possible that Jennifer Soto had nothing to do with anything? And that for 5 years, Stephan Sterns was so good at what he did that he did it under the nose of Jennifer Soto?
No, I can't even come up with that supposition anymore, only because of the things that Jenn has said. That supposition is gone for the fact that she talked about the Woody Allen situation and telling Stephan that her biggest fear would be that him and Maddie would run away together, and then that she can't sleep in her bed anymore. They can't all sleep together because she can't risk it. And then her other knowing about filming under the door. There are too many things that lead me to believe that there's no possible way anymore at this space and time in 2025 that she doesn't know. Now, we're talking about two different things now. He just went back to, it's not possible in my opinion. We're still also talking about the CSAM again. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the capital red rum charge that's happening. That's what we're talking about. Is there a possibility she didn't know about that? There's a slight possibility she didn't know about that. Yeah, that he said, go back to sleep, honey. Just give me the dog leash. I'll take the dog out. And he used the leash instead to hold her up. And he ran around and did his things. Yes, there's still a possibility that she didn't know about that. I'm just saying. Do I think that's the case? No. But with the CSAM, I don't even see there being a possibility. All right. Yeah, and that too. There's you guys can do it. You can a whole bunch of things, right? All right, we're almost done. I'm going to show you Locks of Love because I need to show it and we need to support them.
I think if we're going to be fair, the answer to that question is yes, it is possible. I think that the probability is very low. I can't imagine. I can't imagine it, especially knowing that all three of them were in the same bed. And the whole, what was that text that she sent about? Now I can't even remember the name of that director, right? But you guys know what I'm talking about.
Woody Allen?
There was an incriminating text. She sent her daughter up to sleep in the bed of her ex-boyfriend. These are indications to me. Wanting to get her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, who she knew had SA'd her daughter because police had shown her photos, and she still wanted to make sure that he got a lawyer. These are indications to me that she was in on it. That's what it feels like to me. Okay. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about that.
All right. So we're already at 2 hours. So you guys know where I stand. Again, today we're talking about the red rum. It's so hard for me to say that, but I want this to be spread out there. I'm going to stop sharing this. I'm going to show you my other page. You guys have heard you've heard my feelings for hours now. You know where Gavin stands, because if you're a Gavin follower, you've also heard all of what he has to say, not only today, but in general. That's his thought. He thinks that Jenn Soto knows more than any a bunch of reasons why. Okay, sorry about that. Dang it. All right, let me get back to my community page. There it is. Okay, guys, so if you just go to guiltyofcrime.com and then you hit the community, that's where you're going to find this, okay? So this right here is Locks for Maddie, P.O. Box 700-545, St. Cloud, Florida 34770. Locks, any locks. She just says with small trinkets, no flowers or plushies, no letters or cards, just literal locks. And the reason I'm asking for this is because they want to keep the Madeline Soto memorial alive. Okay, so they're fighting for the justice system right now. They're working on Maddie's law. We still got the hashtag arrest Jenn Soto movement. We've got the petition out there, and these ladies have kindly asked that we go to the 99-cent store anywhere if you can't afford it, or pass it to your friends in the community and send a box of locks there. That's it. That's it. And if you can't, that's okay. Just share it with one of your friends. Say, hey, there's this little girl. Tell them about what happened. And if your friends can do it, if you can't, we can always, we're donating some right now. You guys can, talk to me if you need me to send you $10 to go to the dollar store, buy 5 of them, and then send it the cheapest $5 box of shipping that you can. Because there's only so many times we'll be able to do that, right? My current situation. We're donating them right now. So if I offer that to, 20,000 people, I'm not going to be able to do it. All right. So that's what we're asking for. And we're not even asking for you to do it. We're asking for you to pass that around and see if people can send some locks and they can write Maddie on it. You don't even have to write anything if you don't want to. If you do, use a paint pen so the paint doesn't come off. If you use a Sharpie, the weather will take it off. They are working on Maddie's Law, you guys, which would alleviate a lot of the things that were missed in this case. Now, thank you. Perfect person to tell you about this is Nancy Jean, who is running this. She says, thanks, Jay, for helping Locks for Maddie Remembrance Day. February 26th will be 1 year gone. Please help fill her lock post. And I assure you guys, I assure you, it is safe what they're doing out there. They know what they're doing out there, and it's okay what they're doing out there. We're not randomly putting locks on people's stuff that were bothering them. Nothing's going nefarious behind the scenes. We're literally just doing this for Maddie, for justice, okay? Now, Barb, happy birthday to you on that sad day. It won't be sad because Maddie is, like we talked about earlier, she's resting in peace now. She's not being assaulted anymore. And that's how it goes. And so we can do what we can now that that's happened. Thank you, Sharon. I will use that and donate. I still need to send JoJo money. So I appreciate that. Indy ran up. Obviously, that child didn't have a chance. Yeah. I like that, Brie. The lobster claw. Yeah, we should do lobster claws too. Okay, so yeah, like I said, if you guys don't want to do that, don't, but there's nothing negative about it. I don't even really quite understand why somebody said that about don't harm public places and parks, don't harm in pursuit of good intentions. Please put the locks on your private property. That has nothing to do with that. They're asking for us to do it. Hopefully, can't say we replied and let them know everything's good. And I believe at the end of this, somebody said a bridge won't collapse with 1,000 locks. Whatever. We don't want to shame anyone. We just want you guys to know that just because somebody says a comment on something that they're not really understanding, please trust that we're doing it for the better cause. Right? That's all I want. That's all I want you to know. But yeah, it doesn't matter what I say. There's so much melodrama. It really doesn't. People just do what they're going to do. Yeah, you guys got the address. I left it on the screen. And if you're anything, have you ever heard about what happening? Because I never have. I was going to reply to that comment. That's what they're forgetting. But no, I never heard of anything. I have no idea why they said that, or if it was even just a troll. I don't know what the purpose. Sometimes the bridge in Pittsburgh have locks ends to end. Yeah, I've actually never heard that. I love someone said Jen's a psychic. All right, last comment. No mother puts a child between herself and a boyfriend to sleep. Geez, when my children were little, they slept on my side and their dad was also in bed. That never made sense to me. Yeah, we'll call it when we see it, right? We'll call it when we see it. Oh my God, that's such a sad story. Lovely bones. All right, let's kick out the trolls. I'm going to dump this down, you guys. And, we have big shows. Tomorrow's already Friday. So let's hope everything goes as planned and I can get to the crazy 12 depositions. And who the heck they're asking for, the defense is asking for, which makes no sense to me. Maybe some of you law nerds out there, like you, law nerd, and people that know the law will understand why defense would want these people that we're going to talk about on their witness list, with their depositions. What the hey? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I have no idea. All right. I love you guys. Have a good night. Meander over wherever you're going to meander over to. And good night. Love you all. Mwah. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?